Hey everybody, Tyre Metalhead Weatherman here. Hopefully everyone's doing well, having a good Friday. And just as I mentioned just a second ago, it is Friday, so you know what that means. It's time for the weekend forecast here. Hopefully everyone's having a good start to December here. It's been a very interesting week here. Happy to close that one out, but we're not done yet though, because we do have a little bit of activity to discuss here for tonight, actually. Until recently, this mainly had remained as a marginal risk type of day for severe weather, but there is a chance for an upgrade to slight risk. In fact, it's pretty much set in stone here. So if you're anywhere between Morgan City, Lafayette, Houma, New Orleans, Slidell, I'm gonna say it's Slidell. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Biloxi, Mobile, anywhere along this little stretch right here, there could be a possible chance of a tornado or two with a couple tornadic storms tonight. I'm really thinking waterspouts are going to be more so the main threat, but a few of these could sneak in, and with the low-level jet that's available with this, could be a little bit of additional oomph with these storms here. So make sure you're staying extra on guard over here. But that's pretty much all we have for tonight's severe threat. Right now, like I said, 2% area, 5% area for wind, no hail threat right now. Go to tomorrow, we also have a slight risk, or a marginal risk. Have to keep an eye on that as well. Pretty much a similar deal, mainly tornado wind threat, marginal at best at the moment. Of course, we know this can change very quickly. Go towards Sunday, we just have a general thunderstorm threat, mainly stretching from the southeast coast here, parts of the Gulf Coast still in play here, and the state of Florida involved. So keeping an eye on that. Wouldn't really think that there's going to be a marginal risk with this one at the moment. So Sunday looks like probably the calmest of the days here by far. If we look at things from the upper level to mid-level wind perspective here, you can see that there's a good little surge here going right off of the Gulf Coast here. So this is going to help a lot for stronger storms to occur. And that's pretty much going to be the deal that we have going through Saturday as well. This troughing starts to really take shape here a little bit more, and we may see a little bit of winter weather coming from this storm system here as well. Not a super stout low pressure here, but definitely enough lift here, and cold temperatures meeting up with the moisture coming from the Gulf to maybe get a little bit of snow going here. Snow totals, I would think right now, are going to be light. Maybe you could get up to an inch or two of these regions. Nothing that you guys haven't seen before, can handle over towards the northern tier of the Midwest here. But nonetheless, getting your little taste of winter here. Today being the meteorological start of winter. So as we go towards Sunday here, shower and storm activity will persist. Front moves out. Temperatures will cool down a little bit as we head towards Monday morning. That being said here, we'll also have to watch over towards the Great Lakes here for additional snowfall, and also maybe even towards the interior too, especially towards the Adirondack. Also, another spot that I'm interested in looking at too is going to be the Midwest here. Before we get into that, though, we're going to go ahead and take one more look at the severe weather setup here. 18Z NAM is about to be outdated here, so it'll be interesting to see what the latest NAM shows. May post that, depending on how quickly I can get done with the store here. Put that on hold. I put my store run on hold just for you guys. But anyway, as far as tonight's concerned, do have a little pocket of low-level jet here. But of course, like I said, this is a little bit out of date, so the timing may not quite be right. I could picture this moving a little bit further off to the east here and a little bit earlier than 06Z. But as far as tomorrow is concerned, low-level jet kind of pops up around the panhandle of Florida, maybe towards southern Georgia. Could be right on the fringe of that front where we have to watch out for the threat of maybe a possible spin-up. And then as we go towards Sunday, low-level jet isn't going to be very impressive at this point. A lot of this is going to end up being behind that frontal boundary. And then as time goes on, we'll probably see that increase in wind energy with this wintry system, and we'll go on from that point. So looking at the temperatures that are going to be in play as a result of the current setup we have here, of course, it's no surprise that we're kind of warm over towards the southeast, but everywhere else we're pretty chilly right now. If we were to go back towards the beginning, you can kind of see a little bit of a better look at what I'm talking about. And you can see that low pressure developing over here as well. You can kind of see the that counterclockwise spin here. And you can see this kind of transition off to the north and east just a little bit, coming into play right in time around Sunday in particular across the Midwest here. that moisture that's available is going to kick in here, and we could see a couple bursts of snow here. Some snow showers are likely as we head from Sunday into Monday. Another thing to make note of here is going to be the amount of wind with this low pressure system and with the current storm system that we have as well. It's going to make some of these winds really strong throughout the overnight tonight. By the time we get into tomorrow, it does kind of lighten up just a little bit, unless you're towards the southeast where we have some 18 to 20 mile per hour gusts that are possible. Out west towards the mountains with that storm system that's going to be coming in over there, winds are going to be pretty high, especially up towards those mountain peaks. Typical to have that, considering the little wave profile here. Do not want to click the sounding, but gust up to about 55, maybe even 60 miles an hour in the mountain ranges. Not unheard of, not unfathomable, but definitely looking like that's going to be the case here. And then as we continue to see this next storm system move off, we'll see that wind energy going along with it. And really the northwest in particular through the first week of December really is going to be pretty active. I've talked about in a couple other videos. Links to that will be appearing intermittently throughout the video here in the top right corner. So if we were to go ahead and take a look at what our weather model is looking like for currently, what is the NAM3 kilometer, we can see our first storm system. This is our cluster of storms here coming into play. Maybe a couple of chances for a brief spin up on land here. Mainly thinking a lot of this is going to be waterspout activity. But you can see this storm system moving out here. Here's our low pressure revealing itself. Then you have this other area of low pressure here as well. Cold air meeting up with that moisture. We get that snowfall. And then over towards the mountains, we're going to have this continuous stream of snow showers over this region here, especially towards the mountain peaks in particular is where the heaviest snow will exist right now. What I also want you to take note of is watch what happens with this low as we get into Sunday evening. We start out with some areas going as rain, but with that cold air starting to meet up right around the center of that low pressure system and a good bit of moisture available here, we're going to start to see an opportunity for maybe more lake effect snow, some heavy snow, possibly as well as we go through the evening of Sunday into Monday here. So could be some big time snowfall totals as well. Also have to remember the rainfall totals considering the storm system we have over towards the southeast. So this is mainly what we're going to be focusing on here. Most of this up here is going to be snowfall, as we know. So we'll look at the snowfall in just a minute. But like I said, mainly towards the Gulf Coast is where we're going to have those really high totals here. This one is really aggressive here, getting up to even 7 inches right between that Louisiana-Mississippi line here. And then a couple other areas over here towards Alabama, right on the Alabama-Georgia line here too. Panhandle of Florida could be another hot spot as far as heavy precipitation is concerned. And then if we were to compare it to all the other models that we have available, this is the National Weather Service blend of models here, kind of showing a similar thing, although there's a little bit more of an oriented bullseye over towards the Panhandle of Florida. We go with the British model. It kind of stays offshore with this model run. Here's another British model. This one pushes a little bit further off to the east here, mainly looking like most of the Panhandle of Florida is going to be involved. See the same thing going on with the Euro, the Canadian. GFS is keeping it offshore, and then the NAM 12 kilometer kind of shows a little swath over towards Florida Alabama line. But like I said, the lion's share of the moisture is mainly going to be in this area here. But you also have to cover the snowfall here. Snowfall is going to be greatest, of course, over towards the Rocky Mountains and the mountain ranges of the Northwest. You could easily see, oh wow, that's a little bit bold here, 100 inches of snow in the mountains of Colorado here. That's pretty wild. But with the storm track being as it is right now, it's almost set up perfectly for this kind of thing to happen. I would almost go as far as to say maybe this is a little bit of a sign of an atmospheric river beginning to develop here. I'll be making more videos on that tomorrow, though. This wouldn't be the first time we've tracked atmospheric rivers here as well. But overall here, the Northwest is a hot spot. Here's that snow system here's that wintry system we were talking about towards the Midwest. There's a little pocket right here from the NAM 3 kilometer where we're seeing potential for up to 5 inches of snow. For the most part, it's going to be widespread 1 to 2 inches. Not anything unheard of for this region here. Towards the lakes, we have a little bit more activity here, getting up to maybe about half a foot of snow possibly. And then over towards Adirondacks, we could see some higher totals. Some of this does get into the valleys though, so we have to keep an eye out for that. Like I said, really, I think the totals will start to ramp up after Sunday night. So we'll probably jump back on this tomorrow afternoon when the 12Z runs come in. We were to compare this to the British model. We're looking a little bit different here. We're looking at the totals kind of hanging just on the western side of the Adirondacks here. Pretty much a similar look here, minus less significant totals here as far as the Rockies and the northwestern ranges are concerned here. Look at the Euro, pretty much a similar deal. Canadian's the same. Canadian over towards the northeast, interestingly enough, it kind of stiffs them a little bit, so could be a little less in the way of snow. GFS is slightly more aggressive to the northeast. Northwest, pretty much a similar deal. Everything with the NAM 3 kilometers kind of showing just a full-on smack here. But even so, about 2 to 3 feet of snow still looks likely across the mountain ranges here. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. We go to the king of them all, which is the National Weather Service blend of models here. About 2 to 3 feet seems to still be the general consensus at this point, but new runs will be coming in probably soon. But the most I've seen right now is about 33 inches with this. But 1.5 to 2 feet is the general consensus. There is a pocket right here where I've just now seen 40 plus inches. Okay, wait, there's an 82. Sometimes you find this stuff as you're going. But over towards the northwestern ranges here, definitely still the general consensus is this is going to be the bullseye for sure. Then over towards the northeast, widespread 1 to 2 inches seems likely. And then over here, trace to 1 inch over towards Iowa in particular, Wisconsin as well. Then towards Michigan, about 2 to 4 inches seems likely there as well. So that's pretty much what we have going on right now as far as the winter threat is concerned. Severe weather tonight is still possible, of course, over towards the Gulf Coast, so we need to be looking out for that, and the same threat will exist into tomorrow. But that's all I got for you guys on this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Smash that like button, decimate that subscribe button, and obliterate that share button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's a fact. But until then, it's been Tyler Metalhead Weatherman. You guys have a good night. See you later.